Hi, Faye.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
Thanks for joining. You're our guest, this month's guest for AOH Video Conversations. Um, nice to see you.
I'm thrilled to be here. The children started school yesterday, and I feel like it's the beginning of the new year for me, and I'm ready for action. So it's great to do an interview, day 2, and get focused on the new work.
Fantastic. How have the last few months been for you?
Well, it's the first few months I did think I'd never paint again, and it really kind of crushed my creative. I think creativity is a bit like a tide. Sometimes it's with you, and it goes in and out. And so the beginning of lockdown, it wasn't good. I felt very. But then something happened. I don't know what. I think it's when you've started being allowed out, and I did lots of walking in the downs. And suddenly this whoosh of creativity came back, and I couldn't stop painting. And it was just so exciting, and I managed to release a whole collection of work, my summer collection, and it's been a great success, and the work's really bloody good, so I'm absolutely chuffed with it. When I look at that work, I'm proud of it. So, and it's mostly sold out now, so others like it too, which is a relief.
This all sounds fantastic, and you sound like you've been really busy, especially during the artist sport pledge and working on a new series of painting, as you mentioned now. Can you tell us about these?
So the artist support pledge was a fantastic thing that happened on Instagram, and you put work forward just for £200, no more, or it could be less. And once you sold a couple, I think it was £2,000, or was it 1,000? I can't remember now. You bought art from someone else. So I bought a couple of paintings that I'm very pleased with from a very young artist called Jack Fussy, I think his name is, Fussey, and he also paints Sussex, and I just fell in love with his work, and it was great to be able to support a young artist coming up. And then with the summer exhibition that I put on with my own work, it was a fantastic focus for me to almost escapism, actually, to the horrors of the news every day, and just getting the paintbrushes out and getting some expressive marks and colours onto the canvas. So they're the two things that happened through lockdown. And really excitingly, in lockdown, I won 2 prizes. Not 1, but 2. I can't believe it. I won the it's the John Purcell Prize, and that's a paper manufacturer, distributor up in London, for the Royal Institute of Watercolour Artists, and that's at the Male Galleries. And I was chuffed to bits to win that. I could not believe that I entered this competition and I actually won something, which is, I punched the air. It was so wonderful. And then the other competition I won was the Derwent Art Prize, which the pencil manufacturers won a drawing competition, and I won it for I did 140, like this one, but not this one, 140 studies of murmurations over the piers. So hopefully that exhibition will take place next year, maybe in Paris. So I'm thrilled that I've won these 2 competitions.
Fantastic. Much of your work inspired by the Sussex coastline and downs. As you were saying, you've been doing, walkings, especially after the lockdowns a bit eased up. Have you had much time for exploring new areas for your work?
Oh yeah, it's been it's funny, isn't it, with lockdown? We could only walk for that hour from the house, and then it got a bit further, but we haven't really been out of Sussex much since February, or March, wasn't it? And I've discovered some really beautiful areas just behind Woodingdean. Is it Castle Hill Reserve? Just love that circular walk there, and I'm really lucky. I can see from my studio, I can see the hill by the racecourse, and that's White Hawk Hill. It's a really important Neolithic site. So we did lots of walks up in the woods up there, and it's got the best view of Brighton. It just goes all the way over to Shoreham. You can see the Isle of Wight when the lights go in a particular way. And so aren't we lucky to live here? That's what I just keep thinking. Like, I had a good life choice at somewhere along the way that we were going to move to Brighton, and for 6 months, that beach, the sea, the downs, I just will never tire of it. Maybe I will, but not at the moment.
What new work will we be able to see in your open house?
So when I initially signed up for Artist Open Houses back in, when was it, January or something, I think I signed up on the first day. I was so excited, like, I'm going to do, 2020 is going to be the best year ever. I'm going to sign up, do exhibitions, and I want to do an open house at my own home for the first time. And it was all going to be about the Neolithic site up the road. But actually, now lockdown has happened, I need to update my listing. I'm going to focus on a bit of a wide area of Sussex, because I feel like I've explored a lot more. When I initially signed up, my idea was do the school drop off and walk up to the site every day and draw and paint, and that be my great inspiration. It still is inspiring, and definitely some of the work will be about White Hawk Hill, but other areas have become important now, so it has changed a bit. And I've made some ceramic landscapes as well for this open house, and I'm really excited to show these for the first time. I'm going to have to hold them up. It's not going to be the best way to show them, but they come in 3 pieces, and the idea of this is that you can move them around. So you don't just place them once, you can continuously move them to make different landscapes. So you get 3 pieces. There's a large piece, and it's got all these undulating shapes of the downs. And then you've got a middle-sized piece that you can then place however you want to change the landscape. And then got a little piece too. So there's 3 pieces to each sculpture that you place differently depending on your shape, or maybe you could even add things that you find on the beach. So say if you find a particularly beautiful shell, or you're on a walk and you find a nice conker, you could add that to the sculpture, and it could be a continuous sculpture that keeps growing and moving. And there we go.
Which other artists will be exhibiting with you for the Autumn Winters Festival?
Well, that's a great question, because no one, it's just me. I have, for the first time, I thought I'm going to use this time. I haven't got many walls actually, and so I thought I'm just going to do my first solo show at home. I can create it how I want, and it's just going to be purely my art, which I'm really excited about. And also with COVID and everything, you don't want loads of people in your house all the time, so I think it's going to work really well. Just me. I can have a booking system for people to come in, and everyone will feel very safe in the space. Hopefully I'll see you at my open house in November and December, and if it doesn't happen, I'll be online and I'll see you there.